Welcome back. If you have health questions, our doctor on call has answers. That's Hollywood music, but you're a rock star, so that's why.
I thought maybe we're getting some new WWE music for me.
That's for next week. We welcome back UK emergency physician Dr. Ryan Stanton, who is here to answer some of your viewer questions. We've gotten some interesting ones that came in today. Our first one is from Tyler, and he wrote in with a history of digestive problems, including abdominal distension and Crohn's disease, but he says he's still looking for answers to what's causing his problems with bloating, swelling, and indigestion. And I'm sure in the emergency department, abdominal pain is one of those things you guys probably see a lot of folks come in with, right?
Oh yeah, abdominal pain is actually one of the most common illnesses and actually can be one of the most frustrating. If you come in with abdominal pain to the emergency department, we actually only will get you a diagnosis about 50% of the time. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if I find the answer, it's usually not a great thing to have. So a lot of people are suffering from chronic abdominal pain, such as this viewer. And there's some things I can advise. Most of the time, this has to do with a bowel issue, whether it's inflammatory bowel, irritable bowel. This is a good picture here of just kind of everything that goes on in the belly. You got liver, stomach, spleen, kidneys, bowel. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff. There's a lot of reasons that you can have symptoms. So what I would recommend, whether this is from the inflammation of the bowel, whether it's from intolerance of a food, or whether it's from liver issues, there's two good things to do. One's a primary care physician. This is the person who takes the big picture and gets the overall view and makes sure that you're healthy and keeps an eye on just the overall functioning of the body. And then if there's another issue, or they find something or need any further evaluation, they may recommend you to a specialist, such as a gastroenterologist. Reading this gentleman's post, it sounds like he's had some gastroenterologists in the past and some inflammatory issues, and it's good to keep real close to those, see what treatments are necessary. But many of them can be monitored with some alterations in the diet. Many of us have a little bit of intolerance to lactose, so removing that from the diet could make a huge difference. So following up with his doctor, staying close to him, and doing what they say. And
it sounds like, especially with him, in some cases, it may take a little bit longer than you would prefer to kind of narrow things out and figure out what it's not or what it could be, right?
And that's some of the most difficult things to manage, is the fact that there may not be an absolute cure. You may not get that thing, that pill, that change that completely removes your symptoms. The key, just like with diabetes or hypertension, is to try to get it as manageable and as safe for you as possible.
Well, we have another question. This one came in from Facebook. Kimberly Sue wanted to know, what are symptoms and other things to watch out for in low potassium, and can certain medications cause it to be low?
The answer to the end of that is yes. Medications are actually one of the most common causes. Potassium is a very important part of the human body. Potassium and sodium are two of the main keys for allowing our body to make energy. Our body makes waves like a dam and allows those to shift, and that's what gives us the energy to do the things we do. Main thing is muscle contractions. These are some of the things right here. You may have to get really close to the screen. It's okay for a few seconds. It's not going to ruin your eyes, but if you want to look at that real close, you can. But the symptoms of low potassium are fatigue, generalized weakness, some muscle cramping, and you can actually get some constipation. And in worst case, when it gets very, very low, we can get some arrhythmias of the heart. That's because of messing with the ability of those muscles to contract. Some of the most common reasons for them are using diuretics. Those are water pills for people that have heart failure or high blood pressure. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and severe starvation. And so the most common ones I see in the emergency department are with the medications and with those people that may be ill with nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Most of the time, a little low is not a big deal. If it's really low, we may keep you in the hospital and give you some supplements. But it's something, again, that a primary care doctor can manage and follow and make sure that you are where you need to be, and see if you need to be on more long-term supplements for that.
Oh, some great questions and great answers as always. And if you're interested in submitting your questions for our Doctor on Call, just click on the Doctor on Call tab under the health section of WTVQ.com. And when we know Dr. Stanton's coming back on in a couple of weeks, we'll also put that out on Facebook on the ABC 36 Facebook page to get some questions too. Thanks for being with us. We will be right back with more news and weather after this.